Hi, this is Metal Steve, and today I'm gonna show all you how to be radio metal. Alright, step 1. Grow your hair out like probably longer than mine is right now. Step 2. Pretty much have your band sound like Wolf or Paganini or Y&T or even like Whitesnake or something like that. Like along those lines. It don't have to be like, how Zebra sounds like Led Zeppelin essentially. Hope I don't get in trouble for that. They kind of do. Think also radio metal. Think King Cobra's second album. First album a little bit, but more the second album. It doesn't necessarily have to be that, that like classic rock, but it would definitely help. Album covers, something definitely with a guitar on the front, or lightning bolts, or fire, definitely. Usually depicting the band doing something in full gear. Or some Halloween-like cover. Like the cover on this album is definitely right there. Wolf, Edge of the World is definitely right there. It's definitely radio metal. Judas Priest after a while. What else? Early Pantera, like pre-Cowboys from Hell. Pantera is definitely radio metal. Cowboys from Hell is definitely got radio metal on it. That album, it stops being radio metal right around Painkiller by Judas Priest. That's like the high-end stuff. But usually it's more like early Pantera, Wolf, stuff like Vinnie Vincent Invasion, Whitesnake. Guns N' Roses definitely had some radio metal, but they're not all radio metal. So it helps to put, to give your band a something like that. Something like like this album here, which I better turn off before I get in even more trouble, or at least turn it down in the background. This is a great album. It's called Wolf, Edge of the World. This is definitely radio metal. Y&T, Crocus a little bit. Crocus definitely after a while. Like, a lot of the hair bands are radio metal. It's not a diss to be radio metal either. Like, it sounds a lot worse than it really is. It just means, like, heavy metal that wouldn't be out of place on the radio. So, basically, you need to grow your hair out, like, real long. Remember to shred. Always remember to shred. Power ballads are a must. Usually something with a little keyboard in it. It doesn't have to be, like, think think 78, 79, 80, 81, 82, 83. Like, that's right when radio metal hit its height. That's right when radio metal hit its absolute height. That's when it began to really get going. I have this t-shirt that would make an awesome radio metal cover. It's this black charcoal drawing of charcoal art of a dragon with like a electric guitar. And you can clearly see his hands on the guitar. It's so cool. It's so cool. It's so cool. It's like this, name your band, definitely something with like steel in it. Like all the metals, steel, iron. You know, something with like snakes. Easily would be radio metal. Oh, you know, like Whitesnake, King Cobra. Trying to remember it all. That there's so many bands. So many bands that are radio metal. Sing about rocking out, playing rock and roll, sing about the radio. Not quite classic rock, not quite heavy metal. Sing about live concerts. Sing about your band. Sing about having a blast doing all that. Like, I guess Black Sabbath's Paranoid and Iron Man would have to be like the top radio metal I can think of. Like the prime example of radio metal. So it's like radio metal. There's this other band that's definitely like radio metal. Not quite, but it's close enough. It's called Iron Savior. And there's another band called Bloodbound. They're both really close. That track In the Name of Metal is like right there. It's so cool. I love that type of classic rock heavy metal. Like anything that would make it into the Metal Steve's Kick-Ass Metal on that playlist would definitely be radio metal in my book. Van Halen, even the founding fathers of metal like Jimi Hendrix and Cream would definitely be radio metal at this point. It's not a diss, believe me. So yeah. Plenty of guitar, maybe even 2 solos. Not quite classic rock, not quite rock and roll. I mean, you could go for the whole hairband look, and definitely that's radio metal. Like the full-on Alice Cooper, Kiss type thing, the full-on Whitesnake, maybe even the Motley Crue look. Yeah, that would definitely be radio metal. But basically, what you really need is to have your band sound a lot like classic rock. And plenty of solo, plenty of guitar solo. And have like really long hair. And the high range vocals definitely help it be radio metal. Like Firehouse and and Striper, and what was it? Steelheart. Doesn't have to be though. So yeah, it's basically radio metal. If anybody asks what radio metal is, you can refer them to this video. So I am Metal Steve, or maybe I'm just Rock and Roller 88 at this point. But this is Metal Steve signing off.